Alright, comic book friends, I'm Travis. Time for edition of What the Fugue, where I talk about what's going on with me in my week of comics, or month, or whatever. I don't know how long it's been since I did one of these. Been seriously lacking on videos, clearly. I will not be on camera again saying, I'm going to start making more videos, even though this is me saying, I'm going to start making more videos by saying that, but anyway, I really do mean to. Really do mean to get more content out besides just the round table. Awesome for all you people who watch the round table and whatnot. I really appreciate it. And so does everybody else that's on the show. You know, love having that interaction, talking comics and whatnot. But I know that's not for everybody, and not that my other videos tend to be shorter, but they are a little bit shorter. And another way to discuss the books on a more one-on-one sort of a level, or for me to go further into talking about the books that I'm reading if I feel like it, and have a further conversation that sometimes I can't have on the round table, just because it always does feel like we're kind of pressed for a certain amount of time. But yeah, and anyway, I've been kind of spotty on Roundtable here lately. Apologize for that. That's mostly been due to my books not coming. But there will be roundtables from now on. I've just decided that even if I don't have my books, everybody else has their books. We'll still have a roundtable. You know, unless the only way there's not going to be a roundtable is if I have something going on and we can't arrange for it to be on another night or whatever. Otherwise, there'll always be a roundtable. We'll figure something out as far as that goes. Speaking of roundtable, you want to either join the roundtable, tune into the roundtable, or watch it afterwards, the roundtable. There might be a little bit of fireworks going on this week. More Bat books come out, and I am becoming very disenfranchised with the current Bat books. Love Batman. Love Gordon, love Bruce Wayne, love all those characters, but the way they're kind of trying to mesh them together right now just really isn't working for me. I'm just having a hard time. I was all on board for Robot Batman when this whole thing first started out, but now it's just really starting to be uneasy for me. The character changes and some of the plot devices that they've used and whatnot have just been less than appealing to me. So I haven't read the books yet. Clearly this is Wednesday, but I don't get my books till Friday or Saturday. But there could be some agreement, or there could be some, some duking out. Me and Luke, Batman's reviews, will be throwing verbal punches at each other in good-natured way. Because there's nothing wrong with having a good debate. Even if we can't agree on whatever. Nothing wrong with that. Because, of course, we do it politely. And we're all friends, and we're all joking if we're saying something that's not polite. So that's can be the great thing about the internet, or the really bad thing about the internet. In this case, it's great. We can have this conversation, talk about it, joke about it, whatnot. And who knows? I may read this issue and think it's awesome. I just don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how that all that works out. Looking forward to that. At any rate, having that good discussion on Saturday night about the week's worth of comics. Comics. I got emails today telling me that the rest of the Image comic material has been canceled. Issue 4 was the last issue. I tweeted the writer, Alex Cott. I did hear back from him just to say that it was canceled. He had some cryptic thing to say about it, but he said that he would say more about it later on. I haven't found that later on yet of where he's talking about as to why it's canceled. I'm assuming it's canceled because of sales. I mean, it's usually typically the thing is he's only willing to give so much of his own money away on a book that's not selling. I'm sure you can only financially do that. Now, if you've been on I don't know how much I've talked about it on No Capes and stuff like that, but certainly on the roundtable I've talked about material a little bit and about how it's hard to talk about. It's a hard book to talk about because it's got 4 stories going on in it, and the 4 stories are really heavy, and so it's, like I said, somewhat difficult to talk about. But I really like the comic. I like the comic. I'm bummed that it's gone because there are some storylines in there I really would have liked to have seen where they were going to go, what was going to happen in them, despite it being a difficult book to talk about. It's not as simple as some superhero books or some other Image books to talk about what's going on in it because it's such heavy material and stuff. But like I said, I really enjoyed it. Clearly, it had you could say it had a political bend to it. It felt like it had a mission to inform us of something, and there aren't a lot of comic books out there, quite honestly, that are actually doing that. Most of them are pure entertainment, and I don't think that this book was pure entertainment. I think there was a message in there, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with exploring what's going on there. Maybe not agree with all of it, but certainly interested in exploring it. That's another avenue that comics can provide, and I think that's interesting as an art form, more so on the art form end side of things, as opposed to the fluffy entertainment side of comic books. Because there's all of that there, right? I mean, I think we can all kind of agree that there is. Like movies that we enjoy to go to watch because they're not really depthy, they're big and flashy, or they're really funny, and there's not a lot of depth to them. They're just a lot of great eye candy. And then there are movies that are extremely emotional, have lots of depth to them, and is driving home some sort of message of some sort. And both are important, and both have their places and whatnot. And I think comic books can have that too. So unfortunate that material's going for that reason, if nothing else, because there just isn't a lot out there that I'm aware of. Let me know if there is, because certainly interested to explore some more of that, type of thing. But in the more mainstream comics, it's definitely a minority if there is hardly any at all. So yeah, bummer for that. Also, I got an email telling me that I was going to have to reorder some of my Bitch Planet issues. It's not canceled, but they're going to reissue, or not reissue. They're going to issue at a later date. I'll be able to order those books again because they've gotten so far behind on Bitch Planet that they basically Image canceled the ones that are set in the future that we've already pre-ordered, and at some point they'll show back up in the catalog for us to order later on. So that just leads me to know that it's getting pushed back even farther to get caught up to where it needs to be at and whatnot. So I don't know. How long is it going to be before we see more Bitch Planet? They kind of said they're going to get back on track, but clearly they're well off track now as far as that goes. So some comics announcements that have been coming up. We hear that. That we were told there was going to be a new Swamp Thing book. I think originally they were talking about it being a mini-series. Now they're talking about it being a new ongoing. So I'll definitely be picking that up. I love Swamp Thing. Len Wein, original writer on the book, will be writing it again. So curious to see exactly how what he takes from the current canon of stuff versus what he originally had for the book, and what that's going to be going forward. That'll be interesting to explore that. Of course, they more solidly put down there's going to be this 6-issue miniseries of Poison Ivy. Big fan of Poison Ivy, so I'll certainly be getting that. And there's going to be another Wonder Woman book, digital first. At some point, I'm sure it comes out in hard copy. I'll pick it up when it comes out in hard copy. Curious that they keep going. They canceled one digital first Wonder Woman, and they're going to another digital first Wonder Woman. I wonder if that's because secretly there is a much larger female audience that's reading Wonder Woman and those types of books digitally. They're not. They don't wander in a comic book store. I would love to know some of those numbers. Those are numbers they all keep hidden from us as far as what kind of sales are really happening digitally. None of us ever really know that. They keep that stuff secret as much as possible because, of course, they're not using diamonds, so it's part of a business model they don't have to show us, or something like that, it seems. And then how much of the digital market is ladies reading comics, that way they don't have to suffer going into belligerent comic book stores and that sort of thing. For those places that are still doing the business model that way, which is, to me, is just insane. I don't see how you can stay in business if you're not treating all your customers well. But you still continue to hear stories about really shitty comic book stores that treat women poorly, even though they're clearly a huge market now. Or at least close to half the market, if not half the market by now. But I just wonder how much of that is digital. Because I do know just people throwing out kind of not real numbers, but it's kind of sales that, like, Ms. Marvel, for instance, sells huge digitally. It's just massive, massive digitally. And you know, I doubt that massive sale digitally is middle-aged, you know, white guys buying Ms. Marvel. I just digitally, I just doubt that. But, you know, I don't know. You know, I know as many people, women and men, who read comics digitally, exclusive, partial, or otherwise. So I my own personal, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like that maybe that's the case. Because I know other book sales have, the market has changed considerably when people can buy something on their electronic device and no one else sees it. So they don't have to, you know, don't have to admit in public that they're reading a comic book, or that they're reading 50 Shades of Grey, or whatever else it is that they've downloaded into their electronic device. So it opens the market up to explore a lot more stuff that people might not be willing to be setting someplace in a public space and have people viewing what it is that they're reading. So there is that. I think that's it. I think that's really it for most of my this week comic. Excited about my week's worth of comics. Lots of great independent books that are coming out besides the Batman stuff that's hitting. I can't remember off the top of my head what else is there. I got some shirts that are coming for me that I'm excited to get, some more comic book shirts. Should I make a video? Should I make a comic book shirt video? I mean, I have quite a few of those. If people would be interested in that kind of a collection, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if interested in that and whatnot. And on another note, just to throw it out there, not that I think the people who view and watch my videos and communicate with me have any issues or anything like that. But you know, just a friendly reminder to play nice. You know, play nice with your fellow geeks and comic book fans and whatever other fandom you might happen to be in and whatnot. You know, play nice or go home. You know, even if you disagree with somebody, you can disagree in a civil fashion over just about anything that, and have a real discussion if you're actually concerned about somebody saying something that you don't agree with. You know, whether that be, you know, the books that they think are great versus what you think are great, creators that you think are great versus what they think are great, you know, or whatever else. You can make a video disagreeing with somebody else's viewpoints on a video without it becoming some sort of a personal thing, right? Or I think we should be able to. It makes for great discourse. You know, like I said at the beginning of this video, you know, me and Luke may go back and forth on whether we think something's good or not, whatever. You know, and we may joke with each other, but it is all in the discourse of having a conversation about comics, because that's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to have a conversation, you know, be able to present a case and have somebody else present a case about something. It may change your mind, or you may change their mind, or nobody's minds may be changed, and everybody stays the way they are, but it's fine. It opens you up to the idea of there being something else out there, which I think is the betterment of all of us. It makes all of us smarter people and stuff. They're just, I don't know, they're in the non-areas that I don't participate in within the comic book quote-unquote community in the broader sense. I keep getting told there's lots of ugliness going on, and it seems like there should be a better way to go about disagreeing with people than some of the stuff that's been going on. You know, and everybody gets heated every once in a while. We all know that. We all do. You know, and it's something we feel passionately about, you know, we get extra heated and whatnot. But there still should be some level of civility, I would hope. Anyway, for whatever it's worth, like I said, probably 99.9% of the people who are watching this are probably scratching their head and don't know what's going on. Awesome. And anybody videos that I watch are all pleasant people. Because of your word, I wouldn't watch. That's usually my first answer. If I truly, truly dislike what you're saying, I usually just don't watch, unsubscribe, or whatever, which to me seems like the most appropriate thing to do most of the time. You know, so give your opinion and then don't sweat the other person on whatever, you know, unless they're attacking somebody else. Then that becomes a whole different, you know, thing and whatnot. But we hopefully won't get into any of that. So anyway, hopefully more videos. I really am trying to figure out a timeline to fit in talking about my books besides just talking about them roundtable, because I inevitably leave out 4 or 5 books that I never talk about, and I would really like to talk about those at some point along the way. Because it's not like I don't talk about some of them because they're not good, even though sometimes it's because they're not that good and that's why I don't talk about them. But yeah. Yeah, have a great one, everybody. Maybe I'll see you later on the week, and if not, I will see you on the weekend. Happy reading.